Almost every piece of mainstream relationship advice boils down to one golden rule: communicate openly. We are taught that if you bottle up your feelings, the invisible pressure will eventually fracture the relationship. But plotting marital satisfaction against emotional suppression reveals a massive contradiction. Standard advice suggests satisfaction should plummet. Instead, for a significant segment of married couples, the data shows a rising trend. The more they suppress their emotions, the happier their marriage is. If talking things out is supposed to be the ultimate cure for marital friction, we have to look at why silence is statistically winning out for so many people. The flaw in the always express rule is assuming two people walking down the aisle want the exact same outcome from their daily interactions. Psychological research shows that the impact of holding back your feelings depends entirely on your regulatory focus, a subconscious psychological goal driving your behavior. Regulatory focus is the underlying strategy used to weigh risks and rewards when navigating your marriage. This matrix breaks down two opposing profiles. First, the builders, driven by growth, achieving intimacy, and maximizing positive rewards. For a builder, suppressing emotions is actively destructive. Holding back fails to resolve issues, blocking the exact goals they try to achieve. Now look at the second column. This is the prevention focus, the protectors. Protectors prioritize avoiding disruptions and maintaining harmony over seeking new highs. For them, keeping quiet isn't resentment. It's a highly effective strategy to maintain the status quo and prevent escalating conflicts. Neither mindset is wrong. But because builders and protectors have opposing definitions of a successful marriage, the communication tools they require are exact opposites. Individual psychology is half the equation. Your strategy only produces a happy marriage if it aligns with the strategy your partner is using. Psychologists call this regulatory fit. It's the interactive loop between spouses that determines systemic harmony. This 2x2 grid maps out how these strategies combine. The highlighted quadrants show the successful matches: expressive builders paired with expressive builders, and suppressive protectors paired with suppressive protectors. Both pairings result in high marital satisfaction. The system breaks down entirely in a regulatory mismatch when a builder marries a protector. Here's the mechanical failure. A protector stays quiet to keep the peace, while a builder aggressively expresses feelings to resolve issues. Each person's effort actively ruins the other's goal. The clinical data confirms this systemic failure occurs whether the emotions being suppressed are negative grievances or positive affections. Chronic marital distress is rarely about the topic of the argument itself. It is the friction of two incompatible communication systems colliding. Emotional suppression is not an inherent relationship toxin. It is a neutral tool. The true danger is operating from a mismatched rulebook. You can audit your own relationship by having a direct conversation about your underlying motives. You need to identify whether you are naturally wired to promote growth or prevent disruption. From there, look back at your worst arguments through this lens. You were likely victims of a regulatory mismatch rather than a genuine disagreement. If you are an expressive builder, you need an actionable rule. Recognize that a protector's silence is an attempt to shield the relationship from damage, not an act of stonewalling. If you are a suppressive protector, your rule is the inverse. Recognize that a builder's venting is a bid to build intimacy and fix problems, not an attack on the relationship's stability. Surviving a mismatch requires a deliberate compromise in how you communicate. You cannot force a change to your partner's core mindset, but you can adjust your tactics to bridge the gap.